클릭해주셔서 감사합니다. Hello everyone, I'm Laisewa JK Day. In the previous lecture, we learned about supply and demand. We saw how prices change through the interaction between consumers and producers. But today we are going to ask an important question. If markets can adjust themselves naturally, then why does the government intervene in the economy at all? Why do governments collect taxes? Why do governments regulate businesses? Why are there public schools, public roads, and public healthcare systems? Why doesn't the government simply leave everything to the free market? Today we will explore market failures, public policy, and the role of government in the economy. Let's begin. First, let's understand something important. Markets are incredibly powerful. In many situations, markets allocate resources efficiently. Businesses compete. Consumers make choices. Prices adjust naturally. This process often encourages innovation, productivity, and economic growth. For example, when companies compete, they try to create better products at lower prices. Consumers benefit. Competition can improve quality and efficiency. This is one reason many economists support market systems. However, markets are not perfect. Sometimes markets fail to produce good outcomes for society. Economists quote this market failure. A market failure happens when the free market does not allocate resources efficiently or fairly. And when market failures occur, governments often intervene. One example is public goods. A public good is something people can use even if they do not pay for it. For example, national defense, street lighting, public parks, clean air. Now think about national defense. If a country is protected by the military, everyone benefits, even people who did not directly pay for it. Because of this, private companies often have little incentive to provide public goods on their own. This is one reason governments step in. Another example is externalities. An externality happens when economic activity affects other people who are not directly involved. There are positive externalities and negative externalities. For example, education creates positive externalities. An educated population can improve society, productivity, and innovation. Because education benefits society as a whole, governments often support public education. Now let's look at the negative externality, pollution. Suppose a factory produces products cheaply but pollutes nearby rivers. The company earns profits, but local residents suffer environmental damage. Without government regulation, companies may ignore these social costs. This is another reason governments intervene. Now let's talk about inequality. Markets do not guarantee equal outcomes. Some people earn enormous amounts of money, others struggle to survive. Even if markets are efficient, societies may still consider extreme inequality unfair or dangerous. This is why governments often use progressive taxation, welfare programs, public healthcare, unemployment benefits. The goal is not only economic efficiency but also social stability and fairness. Governments also try to stabilize the economy itself. Economies naturally experience booms and recessions. Sometimes unemployment rises sharply, businesses fail, consumers stop spending. During economic crisis, governments may intervene by increasing public spending, lowering interest rates, supporting banks, providing financial aid. You may have heard about this during the global financial crisis or the COVID-19 pandemic. Governments around the world intervened massively to prevent economic collapse. However, government intervention also has problems. This is extremely important. Governments are not perfect either. Policies can fail, regulations can become inefficient, corruption can occur. Excessive governmental control can reduce innovation and freedom. For example, if regulations become too strict, businesses may stop investing. If taxes become extremely high, people may lose incentives to work or innovate. Too much government intervention can sometimes create new problems. Economics is often about balancing trade-offs. This is why economics constantly debate important questions. How much regulation is necessary? How much taxation is fair? How large should government be? How much inequality should society tolerate? There are different economic philosophies. Some economists prefer freer markets, others believe stronger government intervention is necessary, and in reality, most modern economies combine both markets and government policies. Now let's connect this to daily life. Every time you drive on public roads, use public transportation, go to school, visit a public park, or receive public services, you are interacting with government economic policy. Government decisions affect housing prices, education, healthcare, taxes, jobs, interest rates, inflation. Economics is not just about businesses and money. It is also about how societies organize themselves. Now here is one final important idea. Economics rarely gives perfect answers. Usually economics involves trade-offs. For example, more equality may reduce some economic incentives. More economic freedom may increase inequality. Lower taxes may encourage investment or reduce government revenue. Higher welfare spending may improve social safety but increase budget costs. Economics is often the study of difficult choices between competing goals. So let's summarize today's lecture. Markets are powerful, but not perfect. Sometimes market failures occur. Governments intervene to provide public goods, reduce externalities, address inequality, and stabilize the economy. However, government intervention can also create problems. This is why economists debate how much intervention is appropriate. Economics is not simply about choosing markets or government. It is about understanding the balance between them. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this lecture, please like and subscribe. And in the next video, we will discuss another major topic in economics, inflation. Why does money lose value over time? See you next time.